Arsenal won, Newcastle nil, the final game of the season. Impressive victory, especially with the way this league went and the way we have played against Newcastle. We needed this, made it personal. Got the goal from Declan Rice to make it 1-0 to the Arsenal. Um, we start at the selection, the team pretty much stayed the same. We played against Liverpool, except for Marino was red carded. I thought we started pretty poorly. Newcastle was creating a lot of chances. I think they had like five shots on goal in the first 17, 20 minutes. Where Arsenal, I think there was like one shot error on target, which Nick Pope uh, saved, but really no clear cut chances. It was interesting to the way Newcastle played. It's not unsurprising the way they were the setup. Three in the back has always been a problem for Arsenal. They started with three in the back with two flanking Livramento and Jacob Murphy on both sides. It was interesting to see Jacob Murphy playing more of a regular right back, whereas Livramento was taking up spaces in the midfield. So they pretty much overran our midfield because Odegaard was picking up spaces up front. Rice was trying to track Guimaraes, and Saka was kind of tied to either I was not sure whether he needs to be tied to Lewand or I think it was Jordan. But either ways, Newcastle was were creating a lot of overloads, especially on our left hand side, on both our flanks, left hand side mostly, and they created quite a few good chances. Which, if it was not for David Raya, who by the way has 13 clean sheets, level with Cells in Newcastle, Nottingham, um, so uh, we would have been down by at least three goals if you count all the chances that Newcastle had. But we went level on the break, and it was interesting to see Arteta make a change. Saliba was withdrawn, and we got Calafiori in, and immediately there was a big change. Calafiori was able to get into midfield pretty much, and then there was no pressure from Newcastle center forward. I think Wilson wouldn't really press us, but we had a little bit of overload in midfield because of the roaming nature of how Califury plays. We pretty much boxed them in their box in the first 15 minutes of the second half. And slowly Newcastle started to come in, but we before they got a foothold, we managed to get a goal, a good interception by Saka, and then Odegaard took it on and fed it to Declan Rice, who smashed it in from about 20-25 yards out. Really good goal, uh, deserving goal for Rice, who pretty much played uh, through his skin the entire game. I think he was really good this game. Um, I did want to say it was although the performance was okay, especially in the first half, we saw kind of similar to how Arsenal played in the second half of Liverpool, us coming back, changing positions between Trossard and Martinelli. I think Trossard was really impressive as well. But it shows how difficult it is for Arsenal to like play against a back three, back five, and the tough and combative midfield of Newcastle. Um, but Newcastle started to get into the game. We started passing in our midfield. We made a few changes. Howard's, it was good to see him back after like 100 days out. Saka was withdrawn as well, and saw Jorginho at the end. Probably his last game for Arsenal and Tierney as well, who probably be playing the last game before he moves to Celtic. But overall, I think it was pretty cut and dry. Arsenal played well. There's no real pressure on the Arsenal goal in the back end of the second half, although Newcastle dominated the position at that point. But overall, I thought deserving victory for Arsenal. Um, we wrap up our Champions League spot for next season, and more importantly, we we are able to make to second place pretty much on our own. We go to Southampton. We at least need a point to guarantee second spot. But otherwise, it was a good game. Oh, not a great game to watch, but good victory, especially at home. And we needed to get our act together to get the goals going. But as the season comes to an end, I want to give big congratulations to Crystal Palace for their victory against Man City in the FA Cup yesterday. And also next weekend, Arsenal's women play a Champions League final, Women's Champions League final against Barcelona. So good luck to the Arsenal women's team. Of course, Arsenal men's team didn't make it, but a great kudos to the women's team who managed to get to the final. And hopefully, we'll be able to get something from a really good Barcelona side. Um, but until then, uh, hopefully you guys have a good day and a good rest of the week. Um, take care and come on, you Gunners.